So no one seems to remember that 2 years ago this wasn't happening. And on that note, Tim, I promised you before we started this podcast I'd have a quiz question for you because I know you enjoy them.
Right.
So I thought
Listen,
I'd look
I peaked
back.
last week on the trivia. Okay, I'm not sure.
You did
We'll
great.
See.
You did great. But let's keep this train a rolling. And we're going to be talking today on the pod, division by division, who we think is going to win, who's going to make the playoffs, all that jazz. So I decided to look up who won the divisions for the last several years. Now, 2022 just happened, so I'm kind of putting that to one side. But so I decided to go back a couple of years and just to give people an idea, because I think we have short memories, right? This new season begins. We're excited. 100%. We forget what happened 3 years ago. So I went back to 2020 originally, but then 2020 was the COVID year, so kind of a weird, anomalous year in a lot of different ways, although you could use it. Tim, 2019, the NFL season of 2019, division winners in 2019, how many do you think you can name?
I think I can name 6, but we'll see.
There's a couple of layups, but I'm interested to see how many.
So
we're
going back to the Peyton. We're going back to the Tom Brady Patriots at that point. So the Patriots won the East.
The Patriots won the East.
The 2019 Steelers were 8-8 after a lackluster start. So that would have been. Oh, it's pre-Burrow, so it must have been the Ravens. That
was the Ravens.
Was that the MVP year for Lamar?
Yeah, that was the number 1 seed year where the Titans beat them in the game at the M&T Bank.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
We were there.
Yeah, that was the one.
All right. So, gosh, the South. I mean, the Titans didn't win the division that year. So, because they were the 6th seed, 7th seed, whatever the bottom seed was that year.
It was 6. It was still 16 games. That's how long ago this was. But yes.
Yeah. So that would have been not the Titans. So it would have to be the Deshaun Watson Texans.
It was the Houston Texans. Yes.
And the Chiefs, obviously, in the West. So that's
the Chiefs.
AFC. Now, keep in mind, I'm an AFC fan.
That's 4 for 4, Tim. I'm interested to see how many of these you get.
God, the East, the NFC East. So, gosh, who was even playing quarterback for the Eagles? The Cowboys were bad.
Yeah.
The Giants.
I didn't even get into who was playing because that's a whole different kettle of fish.
Were bad. I mean, everybody was bad. I would guess the Cowboys won the East.
It was the Philadelphia Eagles, Tim, in 2019.
Really?
Okay. It was under I believe under the stewardship of Carson Wentz at that time, if memory serves.
The
NFC South.
That must have been a blah year. Okay. NFC South would have been Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints.
It was the Saints. West.
I mean, it's either the Niners or the Seahawks, right? So
it was either the Niners or the Seahawks. That's correct.
It's the Niners. It's got to be the Niners.
It was the 49ers who played in the NFC Championship game that year against the number 1 team from the North, who I think you would get anyway.
Oh, the Packers. Yeah, obviously.
The Packers.
Yep.
So,
7 out of 8.
Well, yeah, 7 out of 8. So just to recap, so in 2019,
times, it's the COVID thing.
In 2019, the division winners were New England, Houston, Kansas City, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New Orleans, San Francisco, and Green Bay. Those were the 8 division winners. Fast forward 2 years, the winners were the Bills, the Titans, the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Buccaneers, the Rams, and the Packers again. So
exactly the same teams, right? Exactly the same. No.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much commonality there. It's untrue. I mean, there's some commonality, but it just shows you how much changes.